The greatest ideas have come from sitting on the toilet. Every day, some company, individual, or group is known for giving the public a load of bullshit. Come here to get your daily dose of shit by Alan Cousin. It's time you hear the shit everyone wants to know.
Now that I have your attention, welcome to your daily dose of shit with, of course, your host, Alan Cousin. So, hello everybody, and I believe it's Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, right? Happy Hump Day to everyone out there doing a Humpty Hump as we are heading towards the weekend, closer, but yet not close enough, right? So, what is today's topic of the morning, evening, afternoon? Well, I gotta say, TRKA, TRKA. That's TRKA Media Group, if you've never heard of them. And TRKA is currently being looked upon and being placed in the media on Twitter, as well as Investors Place and Alpha Setting and News Marketplace. And even I, Alan Cousin, is talking about it today. Because the question is, can TRKA become the next GameStop? Now, yes, that is a very hard thing to do. Trust me, that is an extremely hard thing to do. We're talking about GameStop, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a memory in history that will always be remembered. The day that hedge funds hurt and lost billions of dollars because the people, the people who normally lose continuously towards hedge funds and bears, actually did a flip, and we beat them. I remember it like it was yesterday. GameStop was hurting, looking to possibly go into bankruptcy even. Next thing you know, it becomes a meme. Next thing you know, it's on Twitter. Next thing you know, it's on Reddit. Next thing you know, Wall Street Bets says, hey, let's make this game change. And sure enough, they did. And along with other followers supporting them and apes and so forth, that stock went from a $4.71 all the way to a miraculously cause of, I believe it was, $81.25 at start. And that was before after hours. Because after hours, that $81.25 hit a point of $250 a share. $4.41 to just $81 alone. Think about that. And then it went up to another $250. That was indeed history in the making. So much of history in the making that actually the SEC actually called on an investigation towards GameStop and GameStop shareholders because they said it was, quote unquote, collapsing the stock market. But yet, when hedge funds do it every day, bears do it every day, it was overlooked. But all of a sudden, when it was a flip and the rich was actually becoming poor, things had to change. And now, here we are talking about TRKA. TRKA Media Group, which basically is an acquisitions company that traced back all the way back to Nevada in 1998. Over the years, it was trying to do its best to basically buy all broadband companies, and unfortunately, it made a couple of bad deals, which made it have a loss of $9.4 million per year and required a steady stream of debt to actually fill a gap. But then, in 2022, things changed. It bought out Converge LLC, an ad tech company firm, which was generating around $21 million in profits annually. And suddenly, TRKA's history began to become positive. They started to be looked at as a TRKA 2.0 change, in which then it would actually become a meaningful company and recognized. But unfortunately, because of this buyout, it needed a lot of money to do so, right? We always need a lot of money when we buy out stuff, right? Rings, cars, you name it, right? Well, this deal, unfortunately, had 125 million acquisition, which basically Blue Torch Capital, a direct lender, decided to go ahead and give them that 125 million. But in return for doing so, they had to basically give them 333 million share. I mean, you had to give them, 33 million new shares, assuming a $1.50 conversion price. So basically, if TRKA ever got to $1.50 conversion price, then basically Blue Torch would go ahead and sell their 33 million shares at $1.50. Now, if it ever fell below $1.50, then Blue Torch could actually convert at 80% of the current market price, subject to a 25-cent floor, so nothing less than 25 cents. But, of course, anything higher than 25 cents, but the minimum has to be at least 25 cents. Basically meaning that TRKA would have to issue 200 million new shares, a fact that's not lost to TRKA accountants in April 2022 when they went ahead and filed an S1 statement allowing 200 additional shares. Now, it's interesting because TRKA just did another S3 filing, and in the S3 filing, it states that they're going to have the ability of creating more shares if necessarily needed. Now, why would a company like TRKA want to go ahead and create new shares? Well, there's a possibility of a buyout or a merger with GNS, which is GNS Group. Now, GNS Group is basically a corporation stock, basically lost, from what I was informed. The CEO headquartered in Singapore, Mr. Robert Hamilton, RH as they call him on Twitter, basically is helping to promote online courses to help people to be able to get themselves on entrepreneurial steps, and also to help them with other online situations to help them get degrees and diplomas in certain certifications. Now, Mr. R.H. Roger Hamilton of GNS decided to do a claims on naked shorts court against Alco because basically they were doing quite well back when they had an IPO, and their IPO opened up at $20 or $19.43 to be actually exact. But slowly but surely in basically that year of, I would say August, not even August, of March 2020, of January 2022, they were at 1943. They started to slowly slip down to the point where they were at 1056, then meagerly down to 390. They came back up in August of 2022 at 851, but then shot back down to $2.69 and has basically stayed to the point where they were actually dropping to 49 cents November 21st of 2022. Well, of course, they were to a point of actually bankruptcy. And in doing so, they needed to make a deal. And they made a deal with Alco. And Alco gave them millions of dollars. In return, they were getting conversion bonds that they can actually change into shares at any time. And they did. And this was keeping the company down, supposedly, because of the black dead pool of bearish market shares and invisible shares, and also because of the shares that was being converged from Alco. Well, then RH went to court, and in doing so, he got a settlement. Now, the settlement is not as great as it should have been, but it did improve the company. And in doing so, it of course proved that naked shares does exist, in which now even Elon Musk is joining in and having his internal group fight against the naked shares, as they're affecting Tesla. But these naked shares, these hedge funds, affect everyone. They affect most of the stock market, yet they've always been overlooked by SEC, as SEC has had a hard time discovering them and discovering how to stop them. Now, GNS decided that they wanted to go ahead and try to improve by not only getting their money back, fighting the naked shares, but now also joining with other forces and other companies to do so. And they have joined with other companies. But now they're considering a merger or buyout of TRKA. Imagine GNS, who currently was selling at 49 cents and then rapidly went up to as high as 6.76 on February, but then dropped rapidly back down to $1.90 in March of 28 of this year. And now they're currently at $1.20. GNS is hurting quite well. as we can see. TRKA, of course, being a media company, was doing farly bad in 22, 67 cents. But then they jumped up to a meager $1.23 in June of 2022, but then jumped back down and were drastically dilapidating and dropping more and more to the point where they were at 28 cents as of October 2022. And it even dropped to 16 cents in November of 2022. But then they was doing well to slowly improve, and then on that fateful day, March 6th, 2023, they went to 77 cents when they were able to inform that they were going to do a reallocation of their debt and actually find a way to reorganize the debt to actually improve the operating expense. It jumped that day from 25 cents to 77 cents. But then it jumped back down to 19 cents. But now, TRKA is fiercely at 27 cents, and basically after hours has hit 28 cents. Why? Because there's a mere rumor, even though R.H. Robert Hamilton of GNS actually stated on Twitter already 7 days ago that he was asking TRKA for a possible merger or buyout. And though he hasn't said the time or date, they've been clues that possibly April 19, will be the possible date where you will hear of the buyout coming from GNS or merger of GNS with TRKA. And this rumor has many people thinking, has many people wondering. And as it does, people are buying in slowly and watching the news daily. But like I said, could TRKA become another GME, a GameStop? Because remember, GameStop was doing quite horribly. GameStop was going towards a point where they were actually going to have their own bankruptcy. And then they were suddenly changed by a meme stock, suddenly suppressed and helped by stocks, buyers, by bullish stockholders who said that we're going to join together, we're going to fight the cause, and we're going to change history. And so they did. And in all honesty, you'd be surprised that TRKA is a lot like GameStop. And why is that? Well, let's think about it. TRKA has about 21 million shares short at the end of February. That's 72% short interest ratio. That's roughly the same as GameStop elevated 88% figure in January 2021. Both firms would go on to experience short squeezes in their stock, an essential ingredient to get retail investors excited. And next, there's the financing. In late February, TRKA announced it was retaining banking firms Jefferies LLC to optimize its capital structure and explore strategic alternatives. GameStop used the same firm in December 2020 to help raise capital, and both would go into file S3 forms. Traders tend to look for patterns, and these financial deals look almost identically alike. So, if, in fact, they're doing the same pattern, could it be very possible that with TRKA having such a low share price, it could become the next GameStop? Could 25 cents instantly turn into $25? That's what people are waiting to see. Plus, imagine, part of the agreement with Blue Torch is that they have to have it at a minimum of $1.50. So they need to get their share stock from 25 cents to $1.50 minimum. But with this merger, it could actually surpass the $1.50, which then would be a win-win for TRKA, Blue Torch, and also for GNS. Because then GNS would rise and would make money from both GNS and from TRKA, and TRKA would do the same. Sounds like a very interesting recipe indeed. It's only April 12th, 7 days and counting. But the question is, will TRKA be the next GameStop? And will the squeeze be as historic as GameStop was in 2021? An answer? None of us knows. A question? All of us have. But I will say this. I will be basically watching because I'm curious, just as curious as you are, to see what truly will happen with TRKA and GNS on April 19th and going forward. 88 cents when they just talked about doing an expansion on reorganizing their money. Reorganizing their funds brought them from 25 cents to 88 cents. Imagine what a merger could take that 25 cents to. Just saying. But that's just my daily dose of shit for today. And of course, as always, I like to give you information that I believe is important because why not? And plus, hey, I'm on the toilet. When you're on the toilet, you know, sometimes it's amazing the ideas and the beneficial formulas that pop up when you're sitting on a porcelain throne in quiet, just relaxing, hopefully, unless you've had a bad day and you have to push to get it out and drop your boys in the pool, so to speak. But in most cases, a relaxing day, right? But I will say this, definitely caught my attention. And if it caught my attention, that means it's caught many others' attention, and many more people are paying attention. And now that it's been spoken about by not only us at Get Up Radio, but also by Investors Place, as well as the stock market news, that means now it's got the attention of other possible people from maybe the apes and AMC, or maybe just novice stock purchasers and stock sellers that basically might need something to drop their money in, which with TRKA being 25 cents, it's a very, very nice price to easily put money in, no matter how much you may have at this time, and still make something out of it. As little as $100 could still do well for you at the end. So trust me when I say it has many people's eyes focused on it and many people's attention as a possible stock to invest in. So I guess we shall see. We shall see. 7 days and counting. But before I leave, I'm going to go ahead and play a video from way back in the day about GameStop. Because I believe that TRKA has Trokians, just like GameStop had its warriors. And I believe that TRKA has a TRKA army, just like GameStop had its army. And it's growing. And I believe that they deserve to have a video replay, a flashback, so to speak, because they may be the next GameStop. So enjoy this video. There you have it. For all you Trokians out there, and for all you people who actually remember that GameStop historical moment, hope you enjoyed the video. This is Alan Cousin with your daily dose of shit. And of course, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow to let you know what else was on my mind as I sit on my porcelain throne and hopefully enjoy a quiet, memorable dump. Have a great one.
Thanks for listening to your Daily Dose of Shit Talk Show. If you have some insights, questions, or information of bullshit to pass on, please email us at momentousevents@aol.com. Make sure to come back daily to hear some new shit about money, business, life, and who knows what else as I take a dump on the toilet.